This is the Railroad Rapids right here. It's a great place to film the kayakers going through Railroad Rapids. The river's 5 feet today. It's the first time I've hiked along the river since today's 21st of April. And a couple of weeks ago, on the 3rd of April, the river was at 14 feet, and which means it's about 9 feet up above what it is right now. And you can measure the height of the river by just looking at the debris along the sides. The debris gets piled up to as high as the river was. If the river's a little lower, you can hike through here. It's a lot easier. Going up around there is a pain. Oh, we got some people here. I might have to turn the camera off here. Hello, hello. Do you do the hiking along the river shore?
Sorry?
Do you do the hiking along the river shore?
No.
Oh, okay. I've got a river shore hiking channel with over, it's close to 1,000 videos. Your dog's not gonna kill me. Oh, he just wants to jump on me. Okay, so look at my walking stick here. Carefully. Go ahead and look at it.
Okay.
See the tip?
Yeah.
Whenever you see a piece of stick with all the bark on, immediately look to the tips. I don't know if you can see that. Those are beaver teeth marks.
Ah.
Took me 4 years. I've been hiking here for over 10 years. Today is 21st of April, but if you see over there, see all the debris pile? See how it's all nice and fresh looking? That's because it was put there on the 3rd of April when the river was 14 feet, which covered all these boulders and pushed that debris up there on 3 April this year. So every couple of years it gets up to 14, 16 feet. Flood is 20 feet. Yeah. So if you remember anything from our conversation, remember this: Ohiopyle Ear Boulder. My video that I'm doing right now is a video on how to find the ear boulder, so you can look it up tomorrow. Ear boulder. It's a boulder that looks like a head and it's got an ear on it. Yep. And that was caused by the erosion of the river when it gets up high like this. And you can see the erosion patterns on the rocks all over the place, all the little grooves and smooth parts. That's from steady erosion. I first became interested in what are called the potholes that are all along the river shore and the smooth rocks. And then I hiked that side for a couple of years. Now I've started to hike this side. This is my retirement job. So I take care of, so if you're ever curious what the river looks like all up and down and how hard it is to get to the cool looking boulders, I've got 900 river shore hiking videos to look at.
Oh yeah, where are they under?
Just remember, Ohiopyle.
Ohiopyle.
In fact, you could go to any search engine on the internet right now and type in Ohiopyle Ear Boulder.
Okay.
You'll get you remember my face, you'll see my channel and see all the videos.
Okay.
Yeah, because I figure like 100 years from now, all these videos that I do will be on the internet, and then somebody can compare what it looks like 100 years from now to right now. I want to see how the ear boulder does in 100 years. All right, we'll see ya. So a little piece of beaver trash here, beaver teeth marks right there, and beaver teeth marks right there. Oh, there's a couple little pieces. Usually when you find one, and right nearby you'll find a couple more. Here's another little one. This is a beaver teeth marks. Beaver teeth marks. If I had brought my pack, I'd stick them right in my pack. Here's one more down there. Right there. There's one that's lodged into the river. Alright, I call that the Impassable Boulder. Straight up from it is a trail that goes up the Great Gorge Trail up there. Great Gorge Trail's up there. That's the Impassable Boulder because you can't walk on the river side of that boulder ever during the whole year. It's always under too much water. You get your feet wet there. So you have to go up and around where the rhododendron plants are. There's a tunnel under the, meaning the canopy of the rhododendron forms a leafy tunnel. It's not a real tunnel. So you hike through there. All right, so blue dot tree. I think that is a fisherman sign. Straight ahead. Okay, so we're seeing the tail end of the Dartmouth Rapids right up here. So we're about 300 yards away now. All this area we're walking in was underwater a couple weeks ago. 3 April 2024, Youghiogheny River. This area where we're standing was 14 feet. You can see the bank where it got up to over there. It's washing away the bank over there. And then leaving that debris that's all the way down there. So the river's about 8 feet above where we're standing. All this fresh light colored tree branch debris is all freshly laid here by the river on 3 April. Today being 21 April 2024, Youghiogheny River. And we're on the Fern Cliff side. I used to hike that side for years. And then finally got up the courage to come do this side, which is harder. It's less hiking in terms of distance, but harder because of all the debris and stuff. Sorry, boulders. When we get up here, you'll really see. You have to really climb through the boulders up here. You can't really just walk through them. On the other side, you can pretty much walk the whole way. Very little climbing or clambering. A few places there's climbing and clambering, but not as many as just the distance between, which is High Bridge just around the corner where we started, and downriver's Railroad Rapids, and right there that's Dartmouth Rapids, and that's upriver, Youghiogheny River, Ohiopyle State Park, Western Pennsylvania. All this area was underwater 2 weeks ago. We don't get 14 footers that often. I'd say maybe 3 times a year does it get up to 14 feet. If that. I don't think it got up to 14 feet last year. I think it was only 12 or 13 feet. Then you can tell how high the river last was by the debris pile. And then you can dial back if it was even higher by any other really old debris, which is, you can kind of look at it and figure out whether the tree was a tree fall that fell down into the river or whether it was dragged along and deposited. This is all deposited debris mostly. Trees that fell upriver fell in the river and then washed down here. Among this stuff will be stuff like this, the beaver cut sticks, which are totally cleaned off. Beavers eat the bark on the outside. See the beaver teeth marks at the ends, both of these little sticks, in fact all 3 of these. It's got beaver teeth marks there too. That's how you identify your stick as being beaver debris. Look at the tips real quick, look for the teeth marks. Sometimes I only try to keep the ones that have teeth marks at both ends. That's then gives you the fuller bit of information about how beavers eat up trees and branches. They'll eat them in segments. So that's the segments that they finish taking the bark off of. They just let it drift downriver. Sometimes I think they drag some tree branches over closer to where their bee what do you call it? Their bee den is, their beaver little what do you call their little beaver homes. I've never seen any beaver homes here along the Ohiopyle State Park, Fern Cliff Peninsula. I have not seen a single beaver home. Is it possible they have homes in other places, like under the rhododendron cover? That's possible. Maybe temporary ones. I don't know what they're... Along the river shoreline on the other side, you see a lot of tree stumps, which have they look like this, coming out of the ground. Here's the ground, and then you see these teeth marks. So they obviously have made it here and have cut down a lot of some beavers. I don't know what their habits are. Maybe it was a juvenile teenage beaver out for the summer eating his way down the river. Oh, there's probably a dozen walking sticks over there to be found. I'll get over there in the next year or so. See if they stay there or we get a higher river. There's this bent pine that's over the river. This is Dartmouth Rapids. So at the tail end, if you're a kayaker coming down river and you see the bent pine, as you come down, it'll be on your right side, on the Ferncliff side. As you come down the river, right in that area of those boulders are right up there are the really beautifully sculpted boulders. Cave Boulder, the G Pothole Boulder, and the Ear Boulder. The Ear Boulder is upriver about 20-30 yards from the bent tree. And I can't remember if the pothole and the G Pothole and the Cave Boulder. The Cave Boulder I think is downriver. Nice and cool today, so no worries about snakes, which is my main concern these days. After years of hiking, I got all skittish and still in my fearful of snakes phase of hiking. First couple of years I didn't even notice them, so I was oblivious to the snakes. And then I videoed about 10 or 15 snakes, which I finally began to notice. And then I've got into my fear of snakes time of river shore hiking here. So I try to only hike the river shores when it's cool. It's about 50 degrees, 45, 50 degrees right now. 21st of April 2000. I'll bet this is a great area to fish. It's difficult to reach at the... There's a blue tree trail right up there, which I'll come to in a minute. I've never tried to hike out here. I'm sure there's overgrown trails right in there that I just haven't really been interested, with the time I have and the energy it takes to hike along the river shore. Finding the trails down, I'm only interested in ones that long range should be developed so that other people who like to come down to the river shore can come down. And in particular, I mean, fishermen figure it out. They already know. They figure out how to get here. River shore hikers, there's not very many of them. I got videos on how to get down to what I consider the cool stuff. This video being the that'll probably take me an hour and a half to go round trip here. So we've reached the Dartmouth Rapids finally. This big boulder coming up is the Cave Boulder. And this area is nicely cleaned out. It's beautifully cleaned out. It's easily hiking this year. So that 14-foot river did good. Really cleaned this area out nicely.